everyone. Welcome to my show, Autumn is Here. I'm your host, Francine Crawford. And tonight we're going to speak to someone who is a caregiver. I love speaking to people who are caregivers, especially when men are doing the caregiving. So tonight we're going to speak to Baron McLean. Let's welcome him to our show. Hello, Baron. How are you?
I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for participating on Autumn is Here. And we just want to know, let's start with a little bit about yourself. Just tell us a little bit about background about yourself.
Well, I'm Baron McLean. I'm a husband. I'm a son to a father who's up in age, and my mother's deceased. Baron McLean is a filmmaker, going back to work as a telephone technician, provider, loving husband, devoted friend, and good brother.
Okay. All right. So I know that you are the caregiver for your dad. So tell us a little bit about that. What's going on now? Like he's lives with you, or?
No, my dad doesn't live with me. My dad has, I've been taking care of my dad 14 years after my mother deceased. And he's been on dialysis for 23 years now and still counting. He's doing very well. You could tell about his age, and he's 85 years old. You can see certain things declining. More so now, I gotta keep feeding him and things of that nature. But for the most part, we just try to make sure he gets what he needs. I make sure that his medical is up to date, which I got to call for the foot doctor because he's complaining about his feet. But I make sure he had his eye exams, his physicals, his dialysis. I make sure that his kappa is right on his arm. And basically that's it, just make sure he heated well because he gets cold a lot. And sometimes he had a house in there like Arizona. Mm-hmm. And it's like really nice outside. I'm like, yeah, you got the heater and the heat on? Like, what is going on, bro? Like,
when they older, they get cold. When they older,
he's cold, yeah.
When they get cold.
And plus that dialysis, he's got to warm up. And what we're learning now that on Saturdays is like his worst days because it's 2 days in between. He does it on Tuesday and Thursday, and then he do it on Saturday. And the Saturday, he got a Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, which they take a lot from him. Mm. So it's like he gets a little bit more drained. You can hear it in his voice before he becomes back normal. So it takes a little time for his energy and the strength to get back.
Okay. So you said 14 years.
14 years.
Wow. That's a long time. So how has that impacted your life?
It has impacted my life. Like, you just got to take the time out. Like, there's certain things I used to do very quick. Now I just can't do them no more. I'm frustrated. If you would talk about impact, frustration. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, that comes with the bill. I also look out for my in-laws as well at times, but they're like working, like they're up in age, but they're working. But my dad, he does nothing. His vacation is going to North Carolina. I'm like, you take a vacation from a vacation. I understand that. But that's what he does.
Is he mobile?
No, he's not mobile. The only thing that, as long as he got his cable and some food, and sometimes a little company, then he good. That's it.
Does he have a home attendant?
No, he doesn't. He used to, but he complains about everything. So, like the grandkids is there. Sometimes my daughter lives above him, but she's now working, doing her own thing. So now he could, I go over there. Like tonight, I was just over there talking to him. And actually what really happened tonight, I just got proxy. I got his proxy, like official. And I'm a POA now, a power of attorney over him. I just got it all done tonight.
Oh, good.
Literally, like, because I Tabitha had took the course, which is my wife. She took the course and I'm like, yo, you need to do this right now. And I was like, oh, okay. So I had to cough up some money to do it. And I think it's very important to get it done.
Right. Oh, absolutely. That's very important in case anything happens. So the way it sounds like he tends to be more independent. He lives by himself, and even though he has these ailments, he doesn't really want anybody to be around him all the time. He wants to kind of do what he wants to do and enjoy, even if it's just sitting there or looking at TV. So he pretty much doesn't want a lot of people interacting with him.
Right.
Before he had dialysis and he was ill, what did he do prior to that? Like, was he working? Was he active? Was he athletic?
My father's a vet.
Okay.
He was a vet. He's a vet. And then he was a foreman at a warehouse for many years. He used to get a lot of people jobs. His brothers, and he did that for a long time. I want to say like 20 something years. Okay. And then he worked at the World Trade, I think, for another 10 years.
Okay.
He worked as a security guard at the World Trade. So he would do overnight. My father was I think from the service, he was a weekend alcoholic. After coming out. So like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, he would drink. Sunday, he would clean up. And the rest of the week, then he would do his thing to hit Thursday again. And it was like, that's when he would drink. So he was like a weekend alcoholic, very functional, but he would take his vitamins and stuff like that. And he would eat, he would eat right, very healthy. And I think the drinking deteriorated his liver along with the vitamins. He didn't watch it. And I'm not even front. Like, I prayed that both of us would stop drinking. And I prayed, and it did happen, but it cost us. It cost us him to go to dialysis.
With him going through that, is there anything that you would say that could have been done differently? Maybe speaking to him prior to him being ill or being in that situation? No. My father he's bullheaded. He's a Taurus. I'm a Leo. He's a Taurus. And that don't even mix. So, I have to eat that bull up, you know what I'm saying? But nah, that's my dad. Like, he was on his own thing, you know what I'm saying? He would listen to his brothers. He comes from a family of 9 other siblings, so there's 10 of them, and there's only one sister. And my father, he's in the middle. Right. So okay, he tended to do his own thing, and he didn't listen. And my mother would tell him things, and he hard-headed, and until he get in trouble, and then he would like try to recoup and make it up. But for the most part, there was nothing we really could tell him. I think he just had to experience it. But the one thing that was good about I would say the one thing that's good about my dad, he's very disciplined, structured, and ordered. Okay. He might have those things, but he take his pills religiously. Like, he take his meds. He doesn't miss a beat on that. Like, that's why I believe that's why he's doing what he's doing for 23 years. Because he had told me some stories that, like, he'd be sitting in a chair and some people had passed right there because they were still drinking beer and doing alcohol. They were still doing things that was not right. And he was like, these are young people, but he was like, he wasn't with it. So that's why he be like, yo, get my meds, like, that's great.
Get my blood pressure pills, everything, he's like that.
So because he's like that, but do you have any talks with him? Did he ever talk to you when he got ill and said, like, these are his plans, or this is what he wants, or anything like that? Did y'all ever have that kind of conversation?
No, we didn't have that kind of conversation. We just kind of like fell into it. Again, he's a man from the South, so he's from North Carolina. And in his times, they don't talk about much. It's their business. And the only thing that I think the saving grace is that my mother did a lot of things that she was in control of, and he just kind of like fell in line with it. Okay. And then when she passed, it was like, okay, you do that now. First, he was trying to get my wife to do it. I was like, you ain't killing my wife. I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to happen. You ain't going to run my wife raggedy because you ran yours raggedy. Nah, we're not doing that. But he always swore that he would go before her. Like, he was like, he thought my mother was going to outlive him.
Right. So it's not necessary that,
Yeah.
knows, so you can't really,
Yeah. So
that. Yeah.
Right. So we didn't have those talks. Only thing that it just happened, it was like, all right, I think my father recognized because I was doing so many things and because I was so successful at them, he was like, okay, I just trust him to do it. And he knew I wouldn't do him dirty anyway. Like, he was like, right, that's my son. And, he has another son that's older than me. And we kind of like, but he wasn't in his life like that, like I am.
Right. So he trusts you.
Yeah, he trusts me a lot. So whatever I say, he does. If I need him to sign anything, he'll do it. I don't really have a problem with my dad.
So, but it takes time from the things that you want to do.
All the time.
Okay.
It really does. It does all the time. Like, we calling that the most inconvenient moments, So I try to prep. Like, we order food for him when we out. We try to prep as much as possible. Okay. And that's one of the things that became frustrating. I could be on a set filming something with somebody. He'll call. I need Burger King. I want 2 Whopper Juniors and fries and a Coke or Pepsi. That's how he is. And I could be out doing something. You ain't come and see me today. Where you at? I'm like, dude, I'm out. Like, I'm living. I'm doing my thing. That's one of the things too. So a lot of times, and we have our moments where I take him shopping. So I take him shopping because he likes to go to the Dollar Tree, and then he likes to go to the supermarket. So I take him shopping, and he picks out his food and gets stuff. Like, we try to keep him as independent. I don't even have a key to his door because I'd rather for him, because he sits down in his chair, he gets up and he'll walk to the door and open it. I don't want a key because if I do that, then he won't move. So in order for him to keep moving, I'd rather not have the key so he can get up and open the door for me.
Oh, okay. But you can still get an extra key just in case, or give it to a neighbor just in case, Right.
I have a key. No. I have a key, but it's for the, like, I'm going through the upstairs. I don't go in through the downstairs.
Oh, okay.
But his door, I don't open. I don't have a key for his door. I have a key to get in, though. But I did that on purpose because I saw a trend in my family lineage. Like, my grandfather used to do that. When I was younger, my grandfather had a chair. He just rocked in his chair. And mostly all the men on my dad's side, all the women passed. So his brothers, same thing. They all would just sit in their chairs and they wouldn't move. They would have their friends over. They would watch the game, but they would have their chair and they would not move. And he's the same way.
Since he doesn't move that much, is it possible to get him like some therapies or physical therapy or something like that that'll help him to move his body and get him moving? Because even with dialysis, I know it's tiring. but still, if his body gets stronger, he can move around. It might help.
That was funny because thank you for bringing that up because he was doing therapy at one time. He was mad as hell. He was doing therapy on those days off. So it was like Sunday was his only day off. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, he was like, this damn therapy is it me. He was so hot. I ain't got no damn break. And they be working me too damn hard. I'm like, that's what you need. But his flexibility was crazy. Like he could put his knee all the way up to his chest. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yo, you mad strong. Like that therapy was helping. But when COVID hit, the therapy stopped. And he didn't go back. I would talk to him about it, but he was like, nah, he didn't want to go back, which was another interesting point. So he had to do eye surgery. And in eye surgery, he had to go do the EKG. And his breathing was bad. And when they put the needle, they couldn't even find his vein because, again, he's on dialysis, so they couldn't find a lot of stuff. Mm. So he failed the first time.
Oh, no.
It was like, he can't get eye surgery. He couldn't get it. And he wanted to see because he had cataracts in his eyes. Mm. So what ended up happening was we went through a whole process with this. So it surged up, it came up again. Take him to the eye doctor. They said, okay, you got to do an EKG. Yo, Francine was so busy. He was like breathing in the tube, like he was doing everything to pass. Oh, okay. He was doing all this other. He was doing extra. He was like, "I'm going to get my damn eye surgery. I want to see." So that's how he felt. Yeah. So he was doing everything, and I was like, "Okay, so we got to go to. We had to go get a X-ray." So they had to check his heart and everything. I mean, this dude was, I don't know what he was doing. He must have been trying to do some push-ups or work out something, but he passed. Mm-hmm. He got that eye surgery done. And here it is again, he's successful at it. Well, I say, he want to live.
Yeah. If he's determined, he seems like he can do this, but what about any kind of help for you? You know what I mean? Did you get any kind of help for you? Have you gotten any therapy, anything like that? Do you feel like that? Or you just feel like this is just the hand you're dealt and you just deal with it the best way you can and you're okay with that?
I just got therapy. I just got a therapist.
Yeah, you did.
I just literally this week, like everything is happening. I just got a therapist.
You must have been watching Autumn's hair.
Yeah, of course.
Just got a therapist, just got a POA. Okay, all right.
Listen, it would be asinine of me not to do any of these things while I'm watching this awesome show every week.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Of course.
Oh, okay. With dealing with this situation, and I know by now that you're kind of used to it, but do you ever think that, do you ever go through why me? Because it seems like it's just you kind of doing the most for him. Did you ever go through that?
Yeah, I did. I did.
Okay.
I had to think about that, but I did. I did went through that.
Being the only one, like I was by myself too. So it's like, I know, you do the best you can, and then it's just so much. You get worn out and you get frustrated, and it's like, okay, why is this happening now to me? Because that's you're saying a long time, and I dealt with my mom a long time. So
right.
I
went with that. I went through that, but my wife is like my biggest support. So like, she does a lot of stuff for him too. Okay. And I think that helps a lot, like give me a little bit more balance. But in the beginning, it was like why me? Like why my moms had to go and you left this burden on me. And I was mad because my father at the time, he did what he knew best. And I was like, yo, take me to work with you. I was like trying to bond heavily with him. And he wasn't like with it. Like, nah, I'm not doing that with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we cool and all, but I'm like, but I'm not doing that with you. And then it came to a point where I got mad and I was resentful. I was like, since you don't want to do that with me, I don't want to do nothing for you either. So, but what it was like, you want to take control of my life and stop me from living to take care of you. And that's not fair to me because you had your time in your moment. Like I'm not 85. I'm not 80. And I'm experiencing 30, 40, 50 years old. Like, and this is a time of my life. I just can't stop. And I got dreams too. So it's like, no, I'm not doing that. And I say, you know, like you lived your time. Now I'm going to do everything I can to help you and nurture you. Yes, but I'm not going to stop living for me. But I did resent him a lot. I mean, I just got over some resentment. I really just recently got over it. No, really, it's all.
No, that's real talk because hold on. It's interesting what you're saying because some people are not that honest about, you know, I really didn't want to do it. You know, and there are people that are going through and they really honestly they care about them, but they don't want to go through what it takes because it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of adjustment of your life and a lot of sacrifice. And then people feel bad that they don't want to do it, but they won't say it because other people will judge them because, you know, that's your parent, that's your grandparent, that's your loved one. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times people, they may not verbalize that they really don't want to do it or can't do it. Like, you know, at the capacity that they have to, you know, sometimes if it's just, you know, you just have to go over there a couple of times, whatever. But then if it's like you have to feed them, you have to take them to the doctor, you have to make sure they have the checkups, you have to all kinds of things like that. It's overwhelming. And some people really are not cut out. They just are not cut out for that. But they feel that they'll get judged if they say that, or they say, you know, they had a moment where they just really didn't want to do it or was not, you know what I'm saying? So
this is going to be really interesting.
What?
Because I got family members that's going to be on Facebook. And if they see this interview, they're going to be like, oh, what? Oh, you know, but they know I'm a loving person, right? So, because he still talk, and my aunt is on Facebook. Oh my God. Big up to her, Merck. All right. So my aunt, and he talks to her like every day. My Uncle Dale, he talks to every day. And my Uncle John, you know, those, and then he got nieces that he talked to. And they call him like every day or every other day. Right. And if they see this interview, they be like, wow. So, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I did have some of that. He'd be like, what? Really? Like, but no, I did. You know, I was angry because it was like, yo, you don't understand. Like, I'm trying to live, you know? But I didn't have, the resentment was because it's just like you said, it's a lot of weight. And they don't understand, like, you're going through things, but they just care about their needs. And that's the thing about it. It's like, damn, man, like, there's nobody to hug me no more. Like, as a parent, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mother used to do that. I used to rub my mother's feet, and she would be like, come on, baby. And I would get on her bed, and she would hug me, and she would be like, it's going to be okay. Those are the things I have in my in-laws. My dad, he doesn't talk as much because of the barrier with the upbringing he had. Oh, okay. And that's how they used to be. Like, when they get drunk, they mouth almighty. You know what I'm saying? That's how all my uncles was. They was like, they drunk, they mouth almighty. They sober, they like, yeah. Oh, it'll be all right. Yeah. I'm like, dude, I need more than just that.
Right.
Say, yo, come over here, let me hug you, son. Let me tell you something.
So that you go through that, like he is ill, he has issues, he needs some help, but you're also going through this emotional thing that he is not open to you, to giving you that kind of affection,
right?
That you used to get from your mom and stuff like that. So he's not even open to that, So
right.
you're dealing with that kind of personality, and but he needs your help,
right?
And so that can be difficult. Do you feel that some of your pullback is because of something that you think that he caused himself, or do you think that it's because, like, if he didn't do that, he wouldn't be in this predicament, and it's been years, so he cut his life short because he did that. And now I have to cut some of my life short because I got to sacrifice because of, him not taking care of himself.
I don't think that. I think that what it was, I think he was just having a good time. He was living his life. Okay. He was doing what he wanted to do. And it wasn't that it was intentional. Like, he was really doing things because, like I say, he would take his vitamins and things of that nature. He's really a healthy guy, like a real healthy man. He would eat his meals, but just those weekends, he would drink. And my father wasn't really a heavy drinker, really. He would buy it, and the guys would drink all the liquor. He would just drink and then fall asleep. Like, literally, like, he wasn't that heavy of a drinker. But when you drink and Smirnoff like that, and I don't know, I never really seen him just throw up. Like, some people drink and they just got to go to because they was messed up. He really didn't have hangovers like that. Okay. So it was, and I'm growing up with this. Oh. It wasn't like bad. It was just
that's just what they did. No, I understand.
Yeah, and
weekends they drank out and they got
and
up.
You party, gamble, party. Mm-hmm. That was it. That was the life. And
okay, so you don't think that? Okay, so you don't think like that he just brought this on his health? This is
he was like when he found out he had right. Like when he found out he had dialysis, mm-hmm. He was like ready to give up. When he found out he was sick, he was going through seizures, and he was like at one point was like, and he was in the hospital. He was ready to give up, mm-hmm. And me and Tabitha visit him, and Tabitha was like, "I'm gonna tell your grandkids." He's like, "You better not tell my grandkids." And literally, he was like on deathbed one day, and the next day, when she said that, he got up and started doing the George Jefferson walk around the room. He was hopping around. No, look at me, I'm good. Hell, look, I'm all right. So, like, he just wanted to live. So it was like I say, it was God ordained. I can't be mad at it. And just certain things that we just all have to go through is just our walk. So, and to tell the tale, because, we live through experiences and sharing other people's experiences in life.
What have you learned from going through this? What have you learned? What could you tell somebody that you learned?
What I learned is not to hold anything against them, against people. Like, I learned to forgive. Mm-hmm. I learned to live in the present now. I learned about love. Even though you might feel that, I still love my dad. Mm-hmm. Like, I love my dad. Like, my dad is still the man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I respect him. When he says what he wants, I do it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes he would say, "Didn't I tell you to do certain things?" I'm like, "You ain't tell me that." And we have our little moments, but it'd be like, "No, that's my guy. Like, he's still my dude." I go cut his hair. We have certain things. I cut his hair. Sometimes I watch a little bit of Family Feud because that's his thing. Mm-hmm. He loved Family Feud. I watched that. And I learned that, life is short. Do what you can for the ones you love and continue to build as much as, because you're gonna get old too.
Right.
I just pray when I'm at that age, I'm functional. Period. Like I'll still be playing ball.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'll be lifting weights.
Okay.
So that's my whole thing.
Is there anything that you would say to somebody who's going through and maybe a similar situation like you? Because it's been a long time. So how do you continue to keep yourself going? Continue to keep yourself uplifted. Because he's going to decline, right?
He's starting to.
He started to decline.
He's starting to, because you can see that he's losing weight.
Okay.
And he gaining it back.
So how does that affect you? Like, is your thought process different? Is it more emotional to you? Is it, because you can see it. You can see him declining.
Right. So that's the reason why I implemented and started to do a little bit more. That's that you have to increase when they decrease.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So now I'm starting to put in more. More time, more getting better meals, watching what he eat. You know, like I say, he said, get his pills. I go get them. I do what's necessary, and I try to keep him, comfortable. And that's what you got to do. Like, if anybody need that advice, you just got to really start to plan your days a little different, and you just got to step up. So if you got to, I'm tired. I'm busted, but it's at a cost. Everything is a price,
right?
And that's the price for my dad to live longer. He got some benefits that I could benefit from. So I gotta keep him alive. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. I love him. So I gotta keep him alive. I gotta keep him going. You know what I'm saying? So no, but that at the end of the day, I do love my dad. I do show it. Recently, he prays and then he watches his Sunday morning. He listens to Sunday morning music. He likes that. But for anybody that need that advice, you just gotta stay prayerful, stay up, get your energy up. And if you're getting frustrated, that's okay. But remember, that frustration takes energy from you.
Okay.
That's something I'm learning too. Like, if you're going to be mad, that's okay, but try to divert the energy into a positive way you can get something out of it. Like get something done for him. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a bigger picture. At the end of the day, at least he can say that, my son was good to me.
Okay.
He looked out. He wasn't. I literally had to have talks with him, like, because my father is like I don't want to say master manipulator, but sometimes he could be. Like he'll get everybody else involved. And I'm like, dude, why you just didn't call me and ask me?
Right.
He'll tell his granddaughter, tell your father to get me such and such and such. And I'm like, she'll text me and I'll be mad as hell. Like, why the hell you just didn't call me? So I had to go over there and sit down and talk to her. Why you didn't call me and tell me that you need? Don't you know, like 99% of the times I get what you want?
But what does he say? Maybe there's a reason. What does he say? He don't want to bother you, or, he didn't know if you were busy. Like, is there a reason? Maybe there's a reason that he feels like he doesn't want to totally take your time. You know what I'm saying? There might be something else to that. He might have some concern.
It could be, but he just says, oh, okay. And he'll do it again. Because it's not like I'm not showing up proving
right.
that I'm not doing it.
Right.
He just says, okay. And I'm like, but you did it anyway. Why did you do that? But I just know that it's just something to stir up the pot. Sometimes they need a little action too. So you want to argue, okay, I sit down. And that could be also another reason to get me to sit down and have a conversation with them. Even just to have that connection to say, yo, yeah, all right, I know you told me, but I really wanted you here for a little bit
so
longer.
That brings you
closer to, bring it to him.
And he may not want to just come and ask you, like, come on over and sit down. And
right.
This is the way, if I do this, he's going to come over.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. That's basically it. Like, you just got to just watch, just enjoy it.
Right. Enjoy what you can while you can.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I miss my mama though.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is that he's able to be on his own. And that's a real blessing that he's able to be on his own for this long. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. I honestly think that my father, we have had some talks, and I want to say that he have expressed to me that he does miss his wife, because they've been married for 49 years.
Wow. Okay. God bless.
So he miss her. Mm-hmm. I kind of feel like he does have some regrets because of his hanging out, doing what he did.
Right.
I kind of feel like my dad, when he goes to bed at night, he's like, damn. And he's seeing me, my wife, and then he sees my in-laws, because they still together. They're 55 years in.
I'm very glad that you are a caregiver to your dad, but I'm also very happy that he's pretty independent and very strong. And this seems to be able to, it seems to be able to bond y'all a little closer, and, things happen in different ways. When you're younger, you want him to be a certain way and you wanted to be around him and you wanted this and that. And it may not come then, but it comes around now. And now you're participating in it in a way where it's like, we understand the sacrifice, but you're enjoying being able to help him. And I think he's enjoying you being there. So it's kind of like you kind of have a second chance in this time. So that's really good. That's really good. And I'm glad to hear that, that's really good. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting a second. I do respect that. And, the fact that I am having a second opportunity to bond with my dad. And it shows, like I said again, even in my complaining at one point, I was like, wow. And then I realized my dad would give me anything. I started to recognize that. Like, yo, he's giving me everything. If I tell him to do anything, he'll do it. Mm-hmm. If I say, yo, I need you to do this, X, Y, Z, all right, just tell me what it is, and he'll sign it. Mm-hmm. Like, he has no issues with me taking over or doing anything. So I had to realize, like, what the hell are you complaining for? You're getting benefits now, Like, he's really looking out. Like, if he didn't look out in one way, he's looking out now. Okay. And that's another thing, too. Like, I would say, for my case, my dad, he might not have done a lot verbally or whatever, but he has done a lot for me. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to, I know I contribute a lot of things to my mom, but, and then this is a good but. Today, I really said, damn, I really didn't realize how this dude really, God is working it out, that he's really looking out for me as being a dad.
Awesome.
You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that that's one of the things I respect and I honor about my father. Mm-hmm. That's the truth.
Okay.
That might make me cry.
That's good. People don't realize that maybe this is a time for a second chance. because sometimes we expect so much from our parents, and they're not what we thought they should be, and somebody else's parents is doing all kinds of stuff. And now we realize, okay, now we have to spend time with them. We have to talk to them, and we get to know them that they're not so bad, or they're their way they grew up was different, so that's why they did what, and we understand them a little better now. Yeah. So this is great. This is great. So thank you so much for sharing your story, and being very open with it, and just being able to tell your story in a way that people can relate to it, because I'm sure someone else can relate to it, and maybe in this situation they can relate to it, and it'll help them. So I really appreciate you participating in Autumn is Here, and just telling your story, and just I wish the best for your dad. A lot of times we have people talking with caregivers who family has already deceased, but now, right, talking to you, and you're going through it, and you're able to be able to understand and see things clearly and open, and be able to say, hey, this is what it is. And I'm just going to go through it. I'm going to do it. So, I'm glad that you're getting a second chance with your dad. That's really cool. It's really cool. So, thank you, Farron.
So before we go, I want to tell everybody, please watch and support Autumn is Here.
Oh, thank you. Yes, please do.
Listen, support Autumn is Here, because it is a very enlightening show. You've had a lot of phenomenal guests, and it has been very enlightening, because again, it's a platform that it's a one-off right now. Mm-hmm. It might not be as popular, mm-hmm, because it's a touch of reality that people don't really deal with, but or they deal with it in a way that they don't get a chance to express it. But this is a platform where you can express it, and I appreciate you doing what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, okay. Well, listen, I will let you go. Good night. Have a good evening. Thank you for staying up and talking to me. I appreciate your time. I really do.